Guten Morgen. So. Sonntag ist Logtag, das heißt, wir spielen wieder Vampyr. Hol das mal fest hier. Ja. Ich hoffe, die Hintergrundmusik ist nicht zu leise. Da waren wir gestern. So. Aufpassen wegen diesem Ding da. Geht mir jetzt schon auf die Nerven. Was so? Ist, glaube ich, einfach. Nein. Verlass mich nicht. So. Weiter. Wir haben schon mit dem Arzt gesprochen. Mit dem haben wir eigentlich schon geredet. Oh, hat das nicht gespeichert? Moment. Oh oh. Hallo?
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Ja, haben wir schon alles gelöst. Gut, fehlt uns noch ein Hinweis.
Goodbye, Mr.
Ja,
Janal.
da nicht zu wenig. Dem traue ich auch nicht. Haben wir eigentlich mit dem Tipp jetzt schon drüber geredet, über seinen Drogengedöns? Ich glaube nicht. Mhm. Ich weiß wo. Sorry, aber ich muss Desktop sagen. Warte mal. Sonst hört nichts.
How can I be sure I'll not find your unconscious body in the house again?
I promise you, you'll not find my unconscious body.
For God's sake, how can you say such a thing?
How can you refuse to listen? I tried to warn you for so long.
No, I won't let my only son die. You promised me you'll stay alive.
Your son lied to you, like the whole world lies to us.
Okay. Mhm. Selbstmord. Das finde ich sehr fein. Opium. So. Das ist, glaube ich, schon wieder zu laut. Desktop so. Geht mir ein bisschen auf die Nerven. Aber nur ein bisschen.
Dr. Reed will help straighten things out in Pembroke, remember?
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Ich will wissen, wo du Drogen nimmst, mein Freund.
I know you're taking drugs, Corcoran. Why take such a risk?
I need it to endure the long shifts. We have no idea how long the epidemic will last. We can't let it win.
I understand the gesture, Doctor. An immediate answer to an emergency situation, but this can't be a long-term solution.
Thank you for your understanding, my dear colleague. And be assured, I have total control of my consumption.
Genau.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Ich glaube, wir sollten ein bisschen mehr konfrontativ sein. Ein bisschen zu verständnisvoll mit den allen. So. Eigentlich für dich noch
Good
irgendwas?
evening, Miss Howcroft.
I need blood, Doctor.
Ja, du brauchst bald. Ein Hinweis fehlt noch.
I'll leave you.
Time has lost its effect on me, but the suffering continues. We're here for you.
Ja gut, wurscht. Spreche aber mit Dr. Swansea. So. Na. So.
Please, Jonathan.
Ja.
Come in.
Das war letztes Mal nur im Schnelldurchlauf gemacht, deswegen machen wir es jetzt ordentlich.
Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
There is an absurd poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You
Yeah.
can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Do you need something, Jonathan?
I have just a few questions.
Then ask away. I'm at your service, Doctor.
You mentioned something about a secret society. A brotherhood, if I recall. Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged to monitor and report vampire activity in England as impartial scientific observers.
Yet you don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
That explains your nightly wanderings about the docks and the questions you ask.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town. There was something as yet unseen that set those chain of events in motion.
Das glaube ich auch.
Since you seem quite the expert on vampires, what could you tell me about my condition and how it came about?
As men of science, our first step is always to start with what we know. Forget the myths, the hackneyed scrawlings in the Penny Dreadfuls. They do not scratch the surface of the truth you now find yourself in.
The sun. The morning following my transformation. Its rays burned me. There was pain, smoke, and my skin blackened.
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality. The sun will most certainly hurt you, leaving you weakened and damaged, but it will not destroy you.
Must I take a life to live?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. and only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
Würde ich gerade raten müssen. So.
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical facility in this part of town that people can rely on. We support the community here, as well as provide health care.
Where do we stand today?
Oh, to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis. The first wave of the Spanish flu last summer took us by surprise. We lack many of the basic necessities needed.
What do you expect of me?
What we need is hope. You were a soldier. This is a war. This white coat's still a uniform. We fight to help the poor, the sick of the East End, the forgotten.
Hoppla. So.
The man we pursued and slew in the canning factory, William Bishop, I believe, was he a vampire?
He was a Skald, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire, others something else.
How do Skulls come into existence?
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire. From what I know, vampires tend to despise them.
Just for clarity, what differences are there between myself and a Skull?
A Skull is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires... Now, vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
We'll see each other again soon, Edgar.
Für den Anfang reicht's. So. Dann suchen wir mal Lady Ashbury. Draußen bei den Zelten. Da ist meine Kiste. Entschuldigung. Boah. So. Na gut. Na, da schau an.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're the lady who saved me that night. before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of
Deswegen soll
control.
ich es machen, oder wie?
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
I'll take care of it.
Natürlich, wie sonst ist sonst essen.
Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition. Is our little miss...
I think of nothing else.
My situation...
Okay. Keine Zeit zu verlieren. Aha.
Bred with no respect. What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones?
Ja.
Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse, or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
Oh, oh.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
Nichts Nützliches.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
Meins.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
Nicht sehr hilfreich.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet.
Okay.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Da kommen wir nicht weiter. Oh, ist der Kranke?
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
How
So painful, I'd rather not talk.
Admit it, Mortimer. Your mother had you hospitalized here because you tried to kill yourself.
Yes, it's true.
All right, then. This is the first time we've really shared information about your case. Shall we call this progress?
Call it what you want, Dr. Reed.
You can trust me. I won't report you to the authorities. My one and only concern is your health.
I guess I should thank you then.
Can I help you in any way, Mr. Goswick?
I wrote a letter for my mother. She was supposed to read it after my death. But I suppose she doesn't have to read it now.
I see. And is this letter still near the place where you tried to take your own life?
Yes. And I don't want anyone reading my last words. I mean, I'm still here. If you bring me back that letter, then perhaps we'll talk.
Oh, das geht schon. Das ist schon besser.
Have you heard?
No?
I have to
Wie auch
go
wenn er die
now,
ganze
sir.
Zeit im Zimmer hockt.
But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Ah, guten Morgen. Oh, fast nicht gesehen. Ja. Mir geht's gut, es ist Sonntag. Sonntags geht's mir immer gut.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Und selbst?
Your son wished to die, Beatrice. Why did you hide?
Are you not aware suicide is a crime? Mortimer could be...
I understand you fear the legal consequences, Mrs. Goswick. But don't you realize your silence significantly affects your son's case?
All my son needs is help and comprehension.
Have you heard room?
Dr. Reed, are you trying...
Of course not, Mrs. Goswick.
Well, go be curious somewhere.
Na. Bis Hilfe von mir, nicht andersrum. Auch gut. Und die haben schon geredet. Was sind die alle?
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Ist mir irgendwas Neues?
Tell me, nurse, did you know Dr. Tippett was addicted to medication?
Hallo.
I suspected this behavior for some time, but never dared to ask him about it until the day he confessed to me.
Do you approve of his addiction?
Of course I don't approve. But I understand he needs it to fight the exhaustion. Let's hope he'll stop injecting himself once the epidemic is over.
And what if he doesn't?
Then we'll have to convince him to stop.
Convince him?
He's still in control of his addiction for now, but we must remain vigilant.
Why would he confess to you about his addiction, Nurse Brannigan?
Don't you know you doctors can't hide anything from a nurse? We're always there, even if you don't notice us.
Do you consider yourselves our confessors, Nurse Brannigan?
I wouldn't dare, Dr. Reed. But I'm intrigued. How did you discover Dr. Tippett's secret?
What can I say? I seem to have a knack for discovering secrets.
And for hiding them as well.
Schauen wir mal.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
Noch ungenauer geht's nicht. So. Na, die habe ich auch schon fast aufgedeckt.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Gut.
Goodbye, nurse.
Fehlt nur noch Crane. Cox. Wo ist die? Weißt du, was wir hinaus will? Steht's mir im Weg? Na, wurscht. Milton. Jones. Wo ist denn das Screen? Award. Das gibt's nicht. Schlag mich tot. Scheint weg zu sein.
It's locked, all right.
Moment, wenn ich einfach dem Symbol folge. Ah, okay.
Please, sir.
Bist du?
I need
Achso.
help bad.
What's going on?
Nicht
I'm
tun.
Blight, sir. Newton Blight.
Nicht tun.
I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. Please calm down and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but... well, we had a disagreement. And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survive the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend. What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Oswald's best friend. We served in the same regiment, sir. We've taken care of each other since we came back from the front.
Und weiter.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war together. Oswald is nervous and quite fragile since we came back from the war.
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal. He didn't want to go to the hospital. I think he went to the sewers on purpose. So I couldn't go after him.
Ich glaube, das war keine gute Idee.
Dangerous part of town. What are you doing here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital. We both need help. Treatment, I mean. To get some sleep. Just need to feel better, sir.
Entschuldigung. So.
I have all the information.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Bitte schön, Efton. So. Wir müssen immer noch nach der Schwester suchen. Gefunden.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
I think we have to investigate. So, oh, es wird wieder gekämpft. Ich hätte noch zwischendurch mal schlafen sollen, ne? Ja, die Zutaten ist gut.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
Na, welchen Weg gehen wir? So. Nehmen wir alles mit, was wir finden. Später schauen wir mal, was wir brauchen können. Okay, Bosskampf. Jawohl. Schreien habe ich den woanders gehört. Ja, er ist links irgendwo. Wir wollen nur erstmal rechts schauen. Vielleicht finden wir ihn raus. Bist du Oswald?
Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here.
Ja,
I need
bist
to
du.
get out.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must calm down first. Please, take a deep breath and tell me your name.
Okay, I'm Oswald Thatcher. Please, I need to get out.
Mr. Thatcher, your friend Newton sent me to help you. Do you remember him?
Yes, I do.
Good. Now leave this place and enjoy the cool night air. It's quite invigorating. I'm sure you'll feel better if you do.
Okay, erstmal keine weiteren Gespräche.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Bis zur nächsten Nacht ist er in sein Bezirk zurückgekehrt. Alles klar. Reden wir später. So. Okay. Im Namen des Drachens. Übler. Ne, der Band des Drachens. Der Ascalon Club. Ratten. Vampyr.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Ja, ich auch nicht. Aber ich habe das Gefühl, ich brauche das Blut.
I have this thirst for blood.
Und wie ich es brauchen werde. Na gut, auf geht's. Kanalbeste. Oh, du Scheiße.
What sort of creature is this?
Schön brav nicht werden. Oh, das tut weh. Das tut sehr weh. Lad schneller nach. Shit. Gibt's dann auch mal wieder? Oi. Sehr gut. Puh.
Here's
Schwester Dorothy's Gutschein.
some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
Na gut, ich muss sagen, das war der Gangster. Okay. Wow. Na dann, auf nach Whitechapel. Ein ziemlich berühmter Stadtteil. Was für ein im Krankenhaus? Bist du deppert? Ach, wenn wir schnell unten rumrennen, können wir das auch erkunden. Danach müssen wir echt mal eine Nacht schlafen und uns aufwerten. Na, hier waren wir schon. Glaube ich. Wenn nicht, ist auch Wurst. Das ist aber mehr. So. Okay, dem Dings muss noch sagen, was wir Auswahl gefunden haben. Mal sehen. Schau, das ist eine Kiste.
That was fast.
I'm afraid the
Is that so?
Now it's time for you to be patient.
Machination.
I hadn't considered that eventuality.
Do be careful, my good doctor. When immortals are involved, the stakes tend to escalate quickly.
I'll return with case solved or carried on my shield.
No.
It's locked. It's locked, all right.
Alles noch zu. So. Bis was zum Arbeiten haben wir, glaube ich. Wie war es mit Ausrüstung? Zweihändig. So. So. Stopp, na, wir hatten noch mehr Sachen dabei. Ja. Jetzt analysieren. Komm schon. Ich habe auf jeden Fall eine komische Blutprobe. Wieso? Gut. Schlafen erst mit der Nacht. Vielleicht schickt das. Gut. Benutzt Stufe 10. Verdammt. Werden diesmal auf jeden Fall Leute fressen, damit wir mehr Blutpunkte bekommen. Auf jeden Fall. Geht's besser, aber der Zustand ist ein bisschen gesunken. Kopfschmerzen, Erschöpfung. Das kriegt man, glaube ich, hin. Teil eines gewöhnlichen Griffes. Den kann ich nicht bauen. Okay. Ich muss mir Dinge suchen. Da gibt es nichts Neues. So, wer ist der Erschöpfte? Ich glaube, einer von den Ärzten. Können einfach nachschauen auch. Das ist so eine Claycox. Das ist Betriebsversammlung oder wie? Hey Clay, what's up?
Hey, Doc.
I'll leave you for now.
Nein, ich will ihm die Medizin geben.
Hey, Doc.
I'll leave you for now,
Na.
Mr. Cox.
Hey, Doc.
Okay. Oh ne, das ärgert mich jetzt. funktioniert. Oder auch nicht. Was sein könnte, ist, weil ich ihm schon mal keine geben wollte. Ich will dir helfen, aber ich kann nicht. Oder nicht?
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Ich gehe nach Whitechapel. Na gut. Schön, ich ziehe noch mal ein bisschen um, weil Baum. Könnte ja sein, dass wir was finden. Sieht nicht so aus. Und da schauen wir. Was auch immer da drin war. Aluminium. Nein, da wollen wir nicht hin. Im Pro-Hospital. Na gut. Enter at your own risk. Na bitte. Whitechapel Street. Und ich höre sie schon. Haha. Sieht aus. Hör auf, hier rumzuschreien. Jetzt sah viel aus. Das sieht sehr gut aus. Elvi Dummibrot, sehr gut. Das packt schon wieder. Na gut, hilft ja nichts. Warum halt ihr alles so viel aus? Jetzt bin ich angepisst. So. Gibt's ja nichts zu plündern. So. Es muss hier irgendwas geben. Wollte gerade sagen. Sonst steht da nicht so viel rum. Ist das so ein Quartier von euch? Jo, die psychisch Kranke wird ein Vampir sein, ja? Aua, tut das weh. Na schön. Verblendete Vollidiot, na gut. Da kann man nichts machen. So, Moment. Aber wenigstens viel zu holen hier. So. Dann weiter nach Whitechapel. Hier war die Hauptstraße, gell? Ja. Ja, was gibt's hier? Hm, paar Münzen. Was sonst? Hm. Seltsam. für ein Zeug? Also. Gut. Wo kommst du daher? Ist mir im Ernst? Hallo? War gut. Danke. Puh. Jo. Luffy.
It's locked.
Okay. Sehr gut. Oh, ein besonderer. Sehe ich gerade. Die Mauer am Arsch, die Mauer. Warte ab, bis ich wieder fertig bin, die Mauer, du. Da hat sie ausgemauert. Rutsche die Mauer. Das geht los. So. Muss sein. Weiß man nicht.
I cannot enter.
Schön, schön. Da ist auch so. hier durch.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Trescu fellow.
Uh-oh.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
Free? You may soon find out that you have simply traded one set of shackles for another.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I've a future here.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything, it ain't me.
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Nicht Selbstmord. Überhaupt nicht.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
Goodbye, young man.
I'll not die in some piss stick reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Alle nur umschimpfen, ey.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened. Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
What can you tell me about this place?
This is Whitechapel.
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
Einen Moment.
You don't have anywhere to go. No family that would welcome you.
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my...
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
Yes. Sounds like shell shock. I've seen a few cases like yours. This is nothing you should be ashamed of, Benjamin. And it's perfectly natural in your situation.
Not ashamed. I just need my pills. Peace and quiet, that's all.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just failed me last nerve.
Okay.
Do you know Nurse Dot?
Funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
Zwei Hinweise fehlen noch.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Geht auch mal in die Richtung. Okay. Here.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Doctor Jonathan.
Oops.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
I'd like to see...
35.
Good evening.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
Bates. Nein, wir schauen jetzt nicht Downton Abbey. Nein, wir schauen jetzt nicht Downton Abbey. Nein. So.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Okay.
Goodbye, Miss Swan.
Ich brauche noch 3 Schillinge, dann kann ich mir so ein Exemplar mal kaufen und untersuchen. So. Bis dahin. Hallo Mikrofon, komm her zu mir. So, ja, welche Richtung? Gehen wir mal rechts rum. Oh. Das ist der Typ neben, oder? Ja. Wir kommen von da. Das heißt, hier waren wir noch gar nicht. Gut, Ratten.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
Nicht sehr umgänglich.
Physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why
No.
is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Okay. Wer bist du?
Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
What you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap?
Ja,
As
also
long
das.
as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever. Madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse, then?
Ooh.
Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Yes, she's a nurse, and quite a good one. What did she do to gain such notoriety?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Unsympathisch.
Show me what you have.
Maximal unsympathisch. Gewöhnliche Griffe? Ja. Alter, die sind auch so teuer. Ich brauche mehr Geld. Da war eine Tür.
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Ein
Your
verdammter
father
Vampir.
is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way. Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Erstmal ausbilden.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
You have a roof over your head, a place to call home. Many people here are not as lucky, you know.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Okay.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
Macht Sinn.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Oh, so.
Even my dreams.
It's locked.
Die Münzen, sehr gut. Dürfen nicht sogar genug sein. Okay, eine Absage, weil er bei der Red Book was war. Also jetzt mache ich sogar schon Werbung. So. Professioneller Vampirjäger am Arsch, die Räuber. Ach du Scheiße.
Unable to see the true horror around.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed,
Ooh.
and I just have
The incoming Armageddon.
Scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city.
Answers about the Armageddon.
Answers about the hidden truth.
Boy.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Spielen wir mal mit.
And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Okay.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Ach du Scheiße.
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Wer ist jetzt schon wieder Joseph?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I send him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fibre.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in our country.
Okay.
That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
Schwieriger Mensch.
What do you mean? Quite a...
Das hat man, glaube ich, schon. Okay. Wobei,
What do you mean? Quite a... Are you? Well,
Yeah.
what do you... Be?
Gut, nichts Neues. Alter Vater. Okay.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling. But I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick. Though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Puh, ja. Glaube ich sogar.
Christina, have you been examined?
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
I'm sure you could have found another job, perhaps less lucrative. Maybe you should try again.
And when exactly was the last time you looked for a job? Or worried about the rent, or what, or when you were going to eat?
Entschuldigung.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Okay. Stehen welche Krankheiten? Erschöpfung. Ah.
Goodbye, miss. Take...
Wieso
Good evening, Christine.
kann ich dir keine Medikamente geben?
Do you need any assistance, Miss Popper?
Ah, okay.
I'm shocked that you would think I am that sort of man.
Forgive my suspicion. I'm so used to liars with good manners. Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
So. Von da war wir gekommen und... Oh, eine Tür. Cool. Oder wie sieht's aus? Ja, ich glaube, die Wache wieder auf die Fresse bekommen. Ah, das ist ein Unterschlupf. Open the door. Hallo Hund. Neues Sammelobjekt. Das will ich auch machen können, warum immer. Da, Blutversucht. Ja. So. Die Frage ist, wo kommen wir jetzt raus? Okay. Interessant. Wenn wir direkt nach rechts gehen, müssten wir eigentlich eh zu einem Platz kommen. Oder? Oh.
To all your problems.
Gib her.
Good evening.
I'd like to see what kind of...
Wir werden sehen. Das können wir schnell.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing.
Ja, aber ich will erstmal die Gegenwart erkunden. Hallo Katze. Da ist Loki. Warst du nicht draußen? Ui. So. So. Wir werden so langsam mal Schluss machen für heute. Ich weiß, dass es noch viel mehr Burger geben muss. Was seid ihr alle? Seitenstraße gegangen und dann waren die auf einmal da. Hm. Ah, hier. Gut. Das kennen wir schon. Die Katze will Aufmerksamkeit. Okay. Na gut. Dann bis nächsten Sonntag.